from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 5 p.m.
Striking LAUSD teachers celebrate after the union and school administrators reach a tentative deal. The marathon negotiations, the picket lines, that's all over now, but now the voting begins.
At this hour, LA teachers are beginning to vote on a tentative deal that could end the teacher strike, the first one they've had in 30 years. CBS 2's Randy Page is live outside City Hall in downtown LA with details on this tentative deal. Randy.
Pat, they were negotiating all night long here inside City Hall, and then this morning they made the announcement.
I'm proud to announce that pending approval, that we have an agreement that will allow our teachers to go back to work on their campuses tomorrow.
Cue the band. Leaders with the teachers union and the district reached a tentative agreement just before the sun came up this morning. It calls for a 6% pay increase, 4 fewer students in each class by 2021, nurses 5 days a week in all schools, full-time librarians in all schools by 2020, and at least 17 more full-time counselors starting in October.
It's time for a new day in public education in Los Angeles. That new day begins now. This is not the end. This is the beginning of making sure that LA gets the schools that they deserve.
They were dancing in the street in front of City Hall. Ashley Sousa's son is in kindergarten.
I'm glad we came to an agreement. He misses school, and I don't want him to miss any more.
But teachers, nurses, and psychologists we spoke to were a bit more tentative. Randy Childs teaches high school math.
It's a really weird position because it feels like we should celebrate because it sounds good. I really want to see the details so that we know exactly what we got. And I'm sure it's just the beginning of a long struggle to keep fighting for the schools our kids deserve.
Lori Bernhardt is a school psychologist.
Everyone wants to be back with their kids and are happy that the teams came together.
Alice Bezaramos was on the picket line 30 years ago for the last strike. She says this one has been much different. Before, she was fighting for no lunch duty and higher pay. Today, she says, the struggle is for the future of public education.
I'm fighting for that today, for social justice, everything, so it meant a lot to me this time.
Jocelyn is a second grader with a simple birthday wish: to spend time with her teachers, to go back to class, and have the best 8th birthday ever. It looks like you're going back to school. What do you think?
I love it.
You gonna get your birthday wish?
Yes.
And yes, it looks like Jocelyn will get her birthday wish. At this moment, teachers are assembling at their schools. They're talking about the agreement and voting on it. UTLA says they hope to have a tally by about 7:30 this evening, but it's worth noting that it really does look like the teachers are going to vote for this agreement. So parents can be ready to have their kids ready for school tomorrow morning. We know for a fact 100% classrooms will be open, and it's nearly certain that teachers will be in them. Pat, Jeff, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Randy Page. And you can stay with us throughout the night for the latest on the teacher strike and the results of that contract vote.
A frantic search for a 16-year-old Moreno Valley girl is continuing tonight. Aranda Isabel Briones was last seen more than a week ago. CBS 2's Greg Mills is live in Moreno Valley, where he talked not only to her family but to investigators. Greg?
And Jeff, she was last seen in this park a week ago Sunday, and later that night her phone died, and that's the last thing the family had to go on.
We haven't been able to sleep, eat. I haven't been able to function at work. That's all I think about.
His niece, Aranda Briones, has been missing for 9 days. She lives with him, her grandfather, the man in the hat with the beard, and other members of her extended family in Moreno Valley. They handed out flyers around Moreno Valley and one more area.
We're going to actually distribute in Rubidoux, where her last known location was, before her phone decided to turn off.
Briones left home a week ago Sunday. She is 16 years old. Human Trafficking Task Force, the FBI, Moreno Valley Police, and the Sheriff's Department are all involved in this investigation and not saying too much just yet.
Numerous things are currently in the works as we speak.
The family says a guy named Owen told them he dropped Briones off here at Moreno Valley Community Park around 5 or 6 p.m. Sunday, January 13th.
It was a friend, I want to say a bad choice of friends. You know, Owen was that.
That is a name that has come up in this investigation. We are currently looking into that, as well as many others.
According to the family, Owen told them when he dropped Briones off here, she got into somebody else's car. Moreno Valley boasts a citywide security camera system, and detectives are using that security camera video from around town. But piecing it together with a timeline is very time-consuming.
That part is still in the infancy as far as the video surveillance, and now it's just putting those pieces together and seeing exactly what we have.
Family is really upset. They say somebody has to know something, but they haven't come forward. Reporting live from Moreno Valley, Greg Mills, CBS 2 News. Pat and Jeff, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Greg. A not guilty plea today from the man accused of killing a dad who was camping with his daughters in Malibu Creek State Park. Prosecutors say Anthony Rauda shot 35-year-old Tristan Bodette last June. If he's convicted on the murder charge, Rauda could face life in prison. He's also accused of shooting at nearly a dozen other people in separate incidents. Rauda is being held on $10 million bail. Now, the man accused of setting that devastating holy fire also pleaded not guilty today. Forrest Clark faces several arson charges as well as making criminal threats. The holy fire torched more than 23,000 acres in several homes in Orange and Riverside counties last summer. If he is convicted, Clark faces up to life in prison.
You might call this the calm before the next windstorm. After a night of trees down, power outages, people are using today to clean up before the wind kicks up again.
Well, CBS 2's Christy Fajardo is live in Chatsworth with more. Christy.
Yeah, Pat and Jeff, as you can probably tell, the winds have really died down on the trees behind me. You'll notice that the leaves are barely moving, but just a few hours ago, those branches were swaying. It's a way down the umbrellas, tie up your hair kind of day. In Porter Ranch, Alfred Burt also learned even when the sun is out, you still need to bundle up.
Hi, picked the wrong day to wear shorts. A little breezy out.
In Porter Ranch, trees are used to bending. But this giant in Los Feliz didn't flex, it snapped. Ditto in Encino, a toppled tree fell across a roadway. Same was true in Valley Village. And in Santa Clarita, the howling wind made for a sleepless night.
It was pretty windy and we had some tree branches that are scraping the windows.
That's why signs went up on the freeways, orange letters warning of white knuckle conditions.
A little scary because, you know, the wind pushes around, you know.
And, you know, I'll tell you, we hear so much about the wind chill factor, and we certainly saw evidence of that today. Right now, when the winds have died down, it's short sleeve weather. But I can tell you when the winds were really blowing, it was very chilly, and you didn't want to be out without a coat. Live in Chatsworth, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
Yeah, exactly. It still kind of feels like it should be cold, doesn't it?
Yes.
So now we go to Amber Lee in for Garth.
That's right. And Amber, how long until the winds pick up again?
Hi, Pat. Hi, Jeff. That's right. Everyone wants to know, right? Because I don't know if you're sick of the winds just yet, but it actually has really cleared out a lot of the air and also some of the cloud cover. And we're actually going to see the winds still stick around, though, as we head into the evening. You could see not quite as windy as yesterday, and that's because the winds have shifted more to an offshore pattern. Yesterday, we were in that transition where it's coming in from the northwest and then moving over to the northeast. So we have some stronger winds still for areas like Fontana, and then also through the Simi Valley and Woodland Hills, we have single-digit gusts, and you can see our sustained winds, nothing like yesterday where the colors were lit up. So definitely a lot more relaxed today, but we still have some very strong gusts, especially over the mountaintops and also for some of our high desert communities. Malibu Hills clocking in at 67-mile-per-hour gusts, Santiago Peak in the upper 60s, Escondido Canyon at 63. I'll have more details on what it means as we head into the rest of the week because the winds are drying things up. Back to you guys.
Wow, those are wind blasts. Thank you, Amber. Developing news now in the fight to protect hundreds of thousands of young immigrants from deportation. The Supreme Court today took no action on the Trump administration's request to review the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA.
Well, that means the Obama-era policy protecting so-called dreamers stays as is until at least later this year when the High Court could take the issue up again. Now, President Trump wants the justices to decide whether he has the authority to end DACA. On Saturday, he offered a temporary 3-year protection for DACA recipients in exchange for money for his border wall. Democrats turned down that offer.
Okay, on day 32, of the government shutdown, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi served some food to federal workers who could miss a second paycheck this Friday. Thursday, the Senate's scheduled to vote on whether to end the shutdown.
But, it's always the but, right? The House is not on board with the Senate's plan, and the Senate is not on board with the House's plan. CBS 2's Juan Fernandez is here with late developments in this showdown.
Yep. Pat, Jeff, everything seems to be moving very slowly. And on week 5 of the shutdown, Congress is finally making moves to get 800,000 federal employees back on the job. But opposition on one side could kill it all.
The president's made a comprehensive and bipartisan offer that would accomplish everything Democrats have said needs to be accomplished right now, immediately. It's a strong proposal.
In 2 days, the Senate actually plans to vote on 2 proposals. Here's the one Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell talked about. $5.7 billion for the border wall and several changes to the immigration system. Proposal number 2, which was hammered out with Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, would reopen the government through February 8th and no money for the border wall.
The president's proposal is just wrapping paper on the same partisan package in hostage-taking taxes. You take off the wrapping paper, and it's the same partisan, narrow, unacceptable package that cannot pass the House, that cannot pass the Senate.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi echoed the minority leader's warning.
We heard what the particulars were in it, and it was a non-starter.
Some political pundits say neither proposal has the required 60 votes to pass. This morning, President Trump continued to stick to his guns on a border wall, tweeting, "Without a wall, our country can never have border or national security. With a powerful wall or steel barrier, crime rates and drugs will go substantially down all over the U.S. The Dems know this but want to play political games. Must finally be done correctly. No cave." But a new report shows the now historic shutdown could cost more than the price tag of the border wall. According to the financial rating agency S&P Global, if the shutdown continues to this Friday, it will cost the economy $6 billion. Well, another issue that was up in the air as a result of the shutdown, the president's State of the Union speech. Speaker Pelosi asked for it to be delayed due to security concerns related to the shutdown. But today, the White House revealed it's moving forward with the set date of January 29th. Pat and Jeff?
All right, thank you, Juan. Well, she was shamed for her size and not having any of it.
Music star fights back after she says some designers are refusing to dress her size 8 frame for the Grammys.
They had undercover agents outside of my house trying to figure out what we were selling inside of it. They found this, pineapples.
From Bloods and Crips to the kitchen, meet the gang members leaving the street life behind for food.
And getting the Rams uniform Super Bowl ready, one stitch at a time.
And look at this gorgeous sunset going down tonight. We do have some high clouds up above. The wind's not quite as strong this evening, but I'll let you know when the winds will be returning again.